Hi, can you believe it's already almost 2023? Wow. I've been thinking so much about my stitching plans and everything else. Probably too much time thinking about my stitching plans. Well, first of all, I want to thank you all for joining me on this journey. Flosstube's a whole new thing for me. Stitching multiple things is a new thing for me. I'm enjoying it though. That's the important part, right? Um, so I wanted to thank you. It's the giveaways. I feel bad about the giveaways, guys. They're still on the bed. Yeah, I had some issues with a couple of people's addresses. I had people, I guess people that live in the same address that have, that watch my show that won. And it's like, okay, I'm getting this address, but different names. Who am I sending this to? Who is this person? That kind of thing. So, yeah. It's okay because I can combine it into one package and send it out, and it saves me on shipping, so I'm not complaining about that at all. Just a little bit of delays with that kind of thing, plus the holidays, that kind of thing. So they will go out next week, I promise. They're going out next week. A lot of them are going overseas, so they might take you out a little bit, but I will be shipping those out next week. Wearing a very colorful black sweater today. I know, not very pretty. Got a wedding tonight. I've got sunset at the beach. Yeah, it's actually not bad though. Today's a nice day. Wednesday's wedding, it was so cold. Oh my goodness. I had on a fleece like sweater, and then I had a jacket on over that, like a vest jacket, like a down vest jacket. And then on top of that, I had another jacket. I had leggings, lined leggings underneath my jeans. I had two pairs of socks on, my gloves for taking pictures. Yeah, we ended up, they wanted to use the gazebo at the park as in the shade. We ended up going just outside of the trees to where we would be in the sun, so it could be warm and have the trees behind us. So we started out that way. It ended up, either we got used to it or it warmed up a little bit. So then we were able to get in and out of the trees for all of our photos and everything. But we would like go into the trees, come out of the trees. Let's go over here by the water. Okay, let's go back over into the trees. Okay, let's go over here and get this angle in the sun. We were all so cold. And of course, I'm all bundled up. And there's the bride. She was wearing a little short sleeve, like lacy dress. It was like short, so her legs were showing. And I think I'm gonna have to add some little color to her legs because I think they're probably frozen to death. But I haven't worked on editing yet. Just taking pictures at this point. Yesterday's wedding was beautiful. Same location, same park, but it was a beautiful day. It was like 68 Fahrenheit, and it was beautiful, sunshiny. Yeah, so it was that wedding, no problems. Tonight is at the beach. It's supposed to be close to 70 degrees. Might even be 70. I think since it's in the evening right before sunset, it might be down to about like 67 or something like that. But it's still warm. Beach always has a breeze though, so it's going to be cool. Reason for a sweater, even though it's going to be like 68, because it's going to be a little bit cool with the wind blowing, with the sea breeze. I'm actually not photographing this one. I have another person photographing. I'm going to be the officiant. I'm going to be marrying the people. So, something a little different. Read the script. Yeah. So, I'll be doing that part tonight. So, yeah. Multiple hats. You do what you got to do with your business, you know. Tomorrow's wedding I'm worried about, though. It's got, we actually moved it up. It was supposed to be at 4 o'clock on the 31st. So tomorrow will be Saturday. Today's Friday. The 30th, I'm recording this a little bit early because it's probably going to take me a day or two to get it edited because it's going to have a couple pieces. But regardless, I'm going off on left field there. At any rate, the wedding tomorrow. It's supposed to be at 4 o'clock, and there is like a 65% chance of rain. So the bride's options were deal with that. She's staying in a nice hotel, so we can use the hotel area, but then we're not going to have the photos she wants around downtown. So that was one option. Move it up to about 1 o'clock, where then the chance is only about 40%. or move it to Sunday. I really didn't want to work on Sunday, but I was like, well, what you gotta do for weather, can't control it. So I was willing to do Sunday about 11 a.m. I think is what we were thinking about for Sunday. Sunday's supposed to be no rain at all, warmer temperatures, so it'd be better. But the bride had her mind set on, nope, I'm getting married on 12/31. Okay. All I can do is tell you what the Weather Channel is saying for the weather is what it is, you know. So we moved it up to 1 o'clock when it's only about 40%. So much for me doing a 12 by 12 tomorrow. But I would have had to stop for a 4 o'clock wedding anyway, so it's no big deal. But yeah. So weddings are going fine. Everything's going good with that. I'm not, like I said, not sure about the ring. Looking forward to the first. I'm going to like pretty much veg out and stitch most of the day. So I'm looking forward to that. And I've got a new start for it. Yeah. So in my last video, and Bo's outside with my husband again, so he's not going to be part of the video. But you just saw him last week in photos, so we'll get him in here for another time. Maybe my next video, I'll make sure he comes in here and sees y'all. But so last week when I was doing my FFOs, I forgot to show you a couple of finished products that weren't FFO'd. They're just finishes. So they're pretty recent, so you probably already saw them, but I figured, well, excuse my reach. I figured, well, let me just go ahead and get those out and show them real quick, since I didn't in my last video. I missed them. So here is the first one. This is one of the Autumn Petites by the Little Needleworks, Little House Needleworks. I think that's what it is. And then I also had, and these were the autumn ones, the Autumn Petites. And I have these ones as well. And they will be going to Artie here shortly to get finished up. And of course you saw this one recently, my cookies. Can't wait for her to put that on a flat finish. I'm not ready to do a flat finish myself yet, but we'll talk about that more in a little while. So those were the finishes that I forgot to show you in the last video, so I apologize for that. Part of my reach again. All right, so first part of the planning process for me is to reflect on the previous year. What worked, what didn't work, what made me happy, what were some of my frustrations, and that way I can make different plans. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my screen. I've never done this before, so hopefully it goes through pretty well. Okay, I think I got that. Hopefully I got that. All right, I'm still learning all this video stuff, guys, so I appreciate your patience with this. So let's start with the WIPs from oldest to newest. Remember, this is my first year of not being a monogamous stitcher. The only WIP that I had that was a carry in was Fairy of the Rain, and I finished it. So these are all starts from 2022. So we have from oldest to newest, we have Once Upon a Fairy Tale, The Story Keep by Amy Stewart. It's Heaven and Earth Designs. This is my first full coverage. I started it in February of 2022. Obviously, all these are 2022. 18 count gridded fabric, full cross stitch, markup. That's what's called Markup XP or something like that. I've got this pattern in that program, and it says I'm at 11% complete. And my picture is in the way of one of my other notes. I'm wanting to say I have 174 hours in it. I know many of the floss tubers do a thing where they're like, well, I touched it this many days. That's the way they want to count it. That's fine. Me, I want to know how many hours. One day could be 1 hour. A day could be 3 hours. I could spend 6 hours on it. I could have a massive stitch and just stitch on it for 6 hours or something. So I want to know how many hours I spent on it. So for the year, I spent 174 hours on this. But considering it's a new start and a new type of stitching for me, I'm really happy with the progress of this. I wanted to pick a fun, colorful design. I wanted all the elements coming through. And as I'm stitching it, and of course I'm stitching up in that top corner there with the little star bursts and everything. And I could tell I was getting part of the book. And the first page was like just the bare edge of the book and the unicorn. That was page 1. And all I'm doing is just all these blues and whites and blues and whites and blacks and blues and whites and blacks and blues. I'm like, what in the world? Well, I didn't get it at first. I was just like, okay, I'm just coloring in the colors they tell me to, paint by number, but with thread. That's what my husband calls it. Are you doing your thread painting? And all of a sudden, I like looked back when I like completed it, and I'm like, oh, there's a unicorn. Oh my God, the unicorn. I didn't even know I was that far down. I was like just blues and greens and blacks and blah, blah, blah. I was like, that's awesome. That's awesome. So I am enjoying it. I was having a hard time pulling it out and stitching on it after a while. Like I stitched on it up until the summertime, and then I didn't want to pull it out anymore. I'm like, why? And I determined it was because I had it on scroll bars and on a frame. I just didn't like it. I wish I could like scroll bars, but I just don't. They're just so big and everything. I prefer the Q snaps and the nerd hoops, or just hoops, or I don't know. It's just the scrolls are just so big and so overwhelming to me that I'm like, that's the problem. So I've got it off of the scroll now, and yeah. So we'll see where that takes us. I'm not planning on getting this thing finished until 2025, so it gets done when it gets done. All right, next one, Tinctorium by Chatelaine. I was encouraged to go ahead and do this one, and I'm excited about it. I love it. I miss it. I started thinking about it this month, going, I didn't touch on Tinctorium this month, and I miss it. I love it so much, and I miss it. I love the colors. I love the specialty stitching. I cringe at the idea of all the beading that I'm going to have at the end, but since it's not on a scroll and it's on the Q snaps and all that kind of thing, it's so hard to bead because you're going to be moving that Q snap around. And I'm like, I don't want to bead on it yet. I don't want to mess it up. I'd rather, but I am doing the specialty stitches. I'm doing the metallic stitches, the back stitching. I'm doing everything but the beading. So I'm going to be like, oh, I'm done with it. Now I have to do the beading. And that's okay. But it is, I started this as I put on the screen here. I started it on June, 28 count pewter lugana by Zweigart. And it, let's see here, I think it had 74 hours. That's what it was. 79, sorry. 79 hours of work done on it. So again, considering the fact I started that in June, and as you can see by the main picture, it is mainly just that one centerpiece. There's a lot more to go. But I feel very confident about how much I've gotten done on it, and I'm very happy with it. So I'd like to have it completed by the end of 2024, maybe just all the stitching done by the end of 2024. And then beat it in 2025. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I do love it, and I missed it, and I can't wait to have it out more. All right. And then we have The Floral Dream by Nora Corbett. And that was started in August. 28 count Blueberry Lugana by Crossed Wing Collection. It's got 20 hours of love in it. I've got excuse the little strings hanging at her knee. Those are going to be going into the blanket, and they're long enough that I didn't want to just cut them off, so I just kind of set them there because I was moving the hoop down and I was getting to them. So yeah, so I will be getting to those and everything. I do love this pattern. I love the colors. It's got a purpose. That always helps. It's like when you're stitching something, you're like, I love it. Okay, what are you going to do with it once it's stitched? Not sure. I guess I'm just purpose driven, so I want to know what am I going to do with this. So this one here is going to go in my bathroom, and of course I've got the sister frame project chart that goes with it. It's called Moon Dance, and I've got that one as well. So once this one's complete, I can start Moon Dance, because I'm not starting Moon Dance until this one's done. But yeah, they're going into my bathroom, so that should so it's got a purpose, it's got a place, it's already ready to go for there. And my personal goal is to have it done by August this year, August 2023. Well, not this year because it's not quite 2023 yet, but hey, y'all get what I mean. All right, next one. Catitude by Heaven and Earth Design. I picked this because I was like, Trey and Mackenzie are going to love this. They're cat people. My son is more dragons. The cross for Mackenzie. I was like, this is like a perfect design for the kids. They all love it. I'll go ahead. It takes me a couple years to get it done. No big deal. And then I'll give it to the kids. It'll be great. But that was my thought process on it. Then I started it. And this is on 25. I started it in August. 25 count gridded tent stitch 2/1. I put 16 hours into it. My first nervousness is you can see the gridded through it. Like Karen the Needlebug assures me that once I wash it, those lines will disappear. But that was one concern of mine. Like, oh goodness. Tent stitch is harder to find your spot because you're so used to a full X, or at least I am, that the tent stitch is harder. So it takes me longer than the full cross because I'm counting more. It's like, okay, where does this belong? Whereas in the full cross, it's there, it's done. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but to me it was different. So that was harder, but I'm like, I didn't want to have to do a full cross. So I was trying to tent stitch and I was like, well, we'll see how it works out. So tent stitch I found out was harder on the 25 count. Because my other one's also 18 count, so it's a lot easier to see the spot. So trying to count to your spot to park your thread or to kind of travel a little bit, as you saw, I was traveling a little bit within squares and stuff. That's hard. So, and boring. These colors, look at those. They're all this, there's like about, as you see from the threads, there's about 20 colors inside there, but I can only, by my eyeball, see maybe 10 of them. They're like so familiar, so similar, not familiar, Penny, similar. They're so similar. Seriously, familiar. I will get it. Goodness, I just need to slow down my talking. I think that's 90% of my problem is I just talk too fast. My brain works faster than my mouth. Okay, so let's see here. This is also a massive pattern. The Story Keep is a smaller pattern, and this one is huge. So that's kind of overwhelming. But you're only working on a piece at a time, so don't get overwhelmed. That's kind of how I work with Tinctorium, is it's only a piece at a time, so you don't have to worry about it so much. So, but at any rate, this background is so boring. And I'm like, I just don't know. If I can get through this, I just don't know. So while I was sitting at my son's house a couple of weeks ago, a week ago, whatever it was, I'm horrible previous time. It's in the past time, move on. Horrible. So when I was there, I was like, I'm just still not sure I want to complete this, but I don't want to UFO it because it's for Trey and Mackenzie. And if I could just fight through the background, maybe I can like do that background page and then maybe I could angle over and grab some of the wing or something, and maybe that'll help encourage me to keep going with it. Like I said, way too much thought into this. This should be fun and enjoyable and everything, and I'm like stressing out about it and worried about it. And I'm like, so while I was sitting there, I'm like, you know what? Heaven and Art Design does those diamond painting as well. Let me go ahead and see about getting it converted. How much would it cost to get it converted into a diamond painting? And what would the size be? And that would give me a different medium. I might enjoy it then because it'd be like, oh, this is something different. I can sit here and do those while watching a movie or doing something different instead of sitting in my stitching chair. So it could give me something different. So I'm like, let me try that. So I emailed them on the holiday, and I'm like, they don't want to answer me for a couple days, but whatever. No, they answered me right away, like the same day. I was like, wow, that was a quick response, you know. And they told me it was going to be $65 to convert it to the diamond painting. And I'm like, okay. And they gave me the dimensions, 40 by 54. I'm like, so I looked up frames. Oh yeah, frames are about $85 to $150, like on the cheap side. Like decent, but not over the top. I'm like, okay, that's like over $200 into this project in just the chart and just the diamond painting canvas and a frame. And how much are the diamonds? They're called drills. How much are the drills? So I look it up, and each pack is $3. I don't know how many drills are in a pack. I'm assuming, which I could be completely wrong, that a pack would equal a skein of thread. And I'm like, well, I know there's 90 colors on this, and I know that several of the colors, I would say, being generous, I would say 5, probably on the low end 5 of the colors had multiple skeins, like 3 skeins, 4 skeins, that kind of thing. So just saying 100 packs of drills, that's $300. I'm like, this is getting, I can't, I'm not spending $300 in those. 65 for that. We're up to almost $400 plus a frame for this project. So I'm like, so I grabbed a picture and I put it on my phone, and I've been like messing around on my phone, so my son's just thinking I'm on social media or whatever. So I grabbed the picture and I show it to him. I'm like, look at this. And he looks at it and he goes, yeah, really? If I show him a picture that's like that he likes, he'd be like, oh, is that a painting? Is that a stitching thing? What is that, Mom? No, just a, yeah, UFO. Done with it. So this is the last time you'll be seeing Catitude, because if he's not that interested in it, I thought that they really would be, and surprise, they were not. Well, I'm glad I only have 16 hours into it. All right, month to month. September by Stitching with the Housewives. I started this in September on 32 count gray gingham by Stitch to Modern, and I have 27 hours into this. So all I've got left is just that little bit up underneath the September, because I got underneath the S, so it's just that other little spot. So those 2 trees and the apples, and I'm thinking instead of doing the barn, I think I'm just going to copy the basket that's above the S and put that where the barn is. Just have a little bit of space, the kind of space the tree and that out a little bit, I think is what I'm going to do. I just don't want to stitch another barn. The barns are getting old. I don't like stitching that much. I'm not enjoying that. So that's why I switched it to a truck on the November one, just because I was like, no more barn. So I'm probably going to do that with that. But I think that's kind of one of the hang-ups on it. Plus, I've been trying to get January done and all these other ones. So September is going to get modified a little bit. Okay, so surprise little distraction, interruption, whatever. That's okay. We love both. All right, so month to month December by Stitching with the Housewives. I started this one in November. 32 count black gingham. By fabric flair. I've got 3 hours in this one. So all I've got is, oh, look, a barn. The main thing, oh, please, we cannot play with that. No. Mama's recording. You can't play with that one. Play with something else. You have to play with something else. Yeah. That crinkling in y'all's ears. Y'all would kill me. So, the black gingham, I wanted to see how it would show up on it. It shows up pretty good. I will have to put some white or maybe some green in the words because they're not showing up as well as I would like them to. But other than that, I started it and I was just kind of waiting. I wanted to see how it would show up on the black, and I was waiting for November. So I got that to come in. So it got pushed aside, back burner. I hope to have it done by the end of the year so I can have it out for next December, but not high on the priority list. Okay. Santa's Sleigh by Nora Corbett. Started in November. 32 count mint splash by Stitched Modern, and I have 18 hours in it. I just put in the green and the red that's on the edge there. I just put it, I'm not sure if this is going to show up on the video or not, but I'll circle it right here, this area. If it doesn't show up, oh well. But that is where I'm at with that. That's what I just put in last night. Yes, last night and a little bit this morning. So it got a little bit of love. Now, I really wanted to spend more time on this. This was supposed to be my focus Flossmas stitch. But as it turned out, I was doing those smalls and everything, and I didn't have time for this one. So I feel a little bit bad about that, but I still love it and I want to get it done. I'm going to be stitching on it a little bit throughout the year. Hopefully I can have it done by November so I can get it finished into a pillow for my couch. I'm definitely going to do like a July Christmas in July type of thing, and I can pull it out as a focus point for that. So it'll get done. So 2023 plans. Sorry, I can't see. I have things in the way. My notes, so that I know what I'm supposed to be reminded to say. Goodness gracious, people, what is with my mouth today? And I'm the one who's supposed to be speaking at a ceremony tonight. I'm going to be tripling all over. I'm going to have to practice that thing like 3 times because I'm not used to reading scripts for ceremonies anymore. I'm a photographer. I just listen. Okay, rings. Okay, they're going to do this. Now it's like, I'm going to have to remember everything. I mean, it's written in a book. I just got to read it. But still, it's, yeah, I'm going to have to not be tongue twisted. That's for damn sure. Okay, so that was a little bit of reflection as well as some planning. So let's talk general for a few moments. Let's see. Sorry, I'm checking my notes because I knew I was going to say something. This was my first, I've already said that it is my first year stitching on multiple projects. And I do like doing that. I feel a little like I'm not staring at the same thing all the time, and I'm getting different things and seeing different colors and different methods and different fabrics and threads, and I'm enjoying that very much. What in the world is he getting into? I don't know if you heard the ka-thunk. Hold on, let me make sure he's not getting into anything too bad. Okay, sorry about that. He's learned that the bathrooms have trash cans. I heard a ka-thunk. I'm like, that sounded like a trash can ka-thunk. It was. I love puppies. I do love my puppy. Okay, so what was I saying here is I do like working on multiple things. My husband's office. Hold on. Husband didn't shut the door all the way before he went outside. That room's got a trash can too. Luckily that door's got a squeak to it. You guys probably heard that one. Oh my goodness. Okay, so back to this. My goodness gracious. It's going to be one of these videos today. That's okay though. I'm not editing it. We're just going to run with it. So I had a good rotation set up in November. Each morning I have a scheduled stitch, mainly my smaller projects. And on weekends I do larger projects because I have a little bit more time to devote to it. During the weekday mornings I have some interruptions. Bo, my husband, Bo want me to throw things. Fine. I can usually do, but it's a matter of, okay, stitch, okay, stop, throw the toy, stitch a couple stitches, stop, throw the toy, check my count. So it's not something that I can put a lot of concentration into because I don't know. And husband, oh, what are we gonna have for dinner tonight? Or did I tell you about this? Whatever. It's life, and I don't mind it. I'm thankful that I can get a few stitches in the morning while I'm drinking my coffee. So I just can't have it to be anything large or require a lot of concentration. I need something in a moment's notice I can put down in case puppy gets into something. So, yeah. Or something I don't have to sit there and spend 5 minutes going, did I stitch that? Did I stitch this? Let me recount this. Let me get... It needs to be an easy stitch in the morning time. He's ringing his bells to go outside now. I'm hoping my husband will hear him and let him out. I'm going to give him a couple moments to find that out before I rush over to let him out. He can hold it more now. He's not so desperate that as soon as I hear the bells, I got to go running. But, so when on the weekends when I have more time, that's when I get out my larger projects that I can put into, if I want to put it onto a frame, no, it's the wrong word, stand. Put it into a frame stand, my Lowry floor stand. I clip my Q-tips or something. On the weekend I do that. During the week I just have it in hand. So, yeah. Let's see. I think my main complaint will be not enough time to stitch. But don't we all have that complaint? Yeah. I keep telling my husband I'm ready to be a kept woman, but he tells me no. I have to keep working. Oh my goodness. So, my WIP rotation plan. Once upon a fairy tale, I plan on doing one weekend afternoon a month, at least. These are like minimals. And if they don't happen, they don't happen. I'm not going to stress about it, but this is kind of the plan. Tinctorium is going to get 2 weekend afternoons a month. It'll probably be a whole weekend because I'll just set it up on the stand and I'll like stitch what I can on Saturday afternoon and then on Sunday afternoon finish it. So it'll probably be, it might even be just a complete all day Sunday thing or whatever. It might just be a weekend stitch. So I say 2 weekend afternoons, it'll probably be a weekend stitch. So I could take 1 weekend out of the month and just attack it. My month-to-month September is going to be on a weekly morning rotation for January, and hopefully I have it done by the end of January because there's not that much left of it, and then that's one WIP off the list. The month-to-month December, I just want to have it finished by November 2023 so it can be out. I don't have exact, it'll just kind of go into a rotation when I can type of thing. The way I've got my month-to-month is doing every other month. So I did January, so I'm not doing February's. So that's why in January I'm able to go back and do September. And then as I go, in February I'll be stitching March's. So then in March I can go back and stitch, whether it be December, it might be August, because I don't have August done. So I don't know what it's going to be, but my off month, it might just grab, some extra time here and there on weekends or something. I'm not sure, but hopefully I get it finished by November 23rd. Yeah, November 2023 is the goal. Lord Rain, I love it. That's on a weekly morning rotation, and I want to have it finished by August 2023. August 23. Autumn Heart, weekly rotation, morning rotation, and I'm going to have it finished by the end of the month in February is my goal. Santa's sleigh, we just talked about it. One weekend, afternoon, a month, and hopefully I get it completed by November. Okay, so now we're going to go into the new starts of 2022. 2023. I will get it right by the turn of the year 2023. All right, I'm going to switch my screen, so hold on just a moment. Okay, so hopefully I switched that back correctly. We're going to find out during the editing stage, I guess. So, I did like doing multiple projects. So what didn't I like? I didn't like stitching the stitch in the season, if that makes sense. I do like it, but I didn't like it. Like when I was stitching Halloween in October, by the time I got it done and got it finished, it was November. So I never got a chance to display my Halloween items. So, although I like having a stitch, like, oh, it's Halloween season, I want to stitch a Halloween thing, I enjoy that part of it. But I want to have it out to sea too. So I guess I kind of need to have that balance of maybe working on a larger project so I feel like I'm stitching in the season, but at the same token, I'm stitching items that are but I also have decorations out already, if that makes sense. Excuse me. So I want to have some of the smalls and stuff like that done ahead of time, as well as doing some during the season, because I feel like I didn't get a chance to display anything. And of course, that's because that's new for me too. So it'll all work out, I know, but that's kind of part of the issue. So I like the idea of stitching ahead on some things. The Sweetwater stitcher, Jessica, she mentioned in hers that she does certain like stitching throughout the year where she'll do like a Christmas design that she's wanting, but she'll stitch it on the 25th of every month. For her patriotic stitch is on the 4th of every month, a Halloween one on the 31st of each month, or the 13th, or something like that. And I'm like, that could work. Now I'm stitching something that can be completed so I can have it out. And then I'll have like, hey, it's Halloween, I want to stitch this, you know. So I still have something, and then that one I can finish throughout the year. I'm not depending on that one for decoration. I don't depend on any period, but you know what I'm saying. But I think that's kind of one of the drawbacks that I had. And that's going to be my answer for it. So for my first quarter of 2023, I have a pretty detailed list of what I'm going to be doing and stitching. I made it by quarter. That way it's not like, oh, this has to be started in January. This has to be started in February or March. That's the first quarter. Whatever I decide to pick up on wherever in there, fine. And if I don't start it then that's fine too. But I figure if I used to be able to plan out for a whole year, and then I have to go back and re-edit it because, oh, I didn't get all this done. Oh, I didn't get this done in time. Well, I can't start this until this is done, or whatever. And I'm talking about life in general that way, not just stitching. So I've learned to take, like, here's my year-end goal, if you will, kinda. But let's do it quarter by quarter. Give myself 3 months. What was my successes? What were my challenges? What didn't I do? What do I need to do? What adjustments do I need to make? And let's plan out the next quarter. A year is just too big of a time frame for me. Maybe my age is showing at 50 years. I don't know. I used to be able to do it all the time. Now it's like, oh my gosh, a whole year. Wow. So much can happen in a year. I can't move that far ahead. Whereas now it's like, 3 months. That's it. That's like, and then from there I can reevaluate and do another 3 months. You know, it's hard. I think it's an age thing. But at any rate, we're not here to talk about my age. We're here to talk about stitching. So New starts for the first quarter. This one does have a start date on it, and that is my Lavender Mist by Mirabilia, and that is part of my Teresa Little Stitcher, Teresa Made Me Do It Sal, and that will be started on the 1st. So that one is definitely being started at that time. Everything else is just kind of, when it happens, it happens. So these are in no particular order right now. That was the only one that was a definite date on it. But I want to start the Christmas Eve Santa, and that is by Cottage Garden, I believe it is. Yes, Cottage Garden. Yes, I was making sure I had that correct. So I will have that. I want to do, for one of my spring stitches, I want to do the Bunny Garden. That's with stitching with the Housewives. My Plum Street Sampler Tired Trio. Those sloths are adorable. Because I need another large. All those are kind of, well, Mirabilia is not small either, but Summer Fairy, my Chatelaine. Another Chatelaine, yes. Yes. Take it in. It's beautiful. It's massive. And it's okay. Well, you're going to do it, though. If I don't start them, I can't finish them. And I eventually want to be able to hang it up. So we're going to start with summer. And yes, I've got all 4 seasons. I already bought the charts. I already have the bead packs. I have all of the silk threads and DMCs, for all of 4 charts, yeah. Oh, well. So, and all my metallic threads, I got all of it. They're ready to go. Fabrics, I just bought those. The retreat is when I bought the fabrics for it. So I've got all 4 of them ready to go. I'm going to start with summer. I'm not going to touch the other 3 until summer is done. So I'll have Tinctorium and the seasonal fairy going for Chatelaines. Wow. All right, then we have the Little House Needleworks Month of the Year. I'm not doing every one of them. I'm going to kind of pick and choose through here, but I've got like a little rotation planned for that as far as like, I think I'm doing February and March. I know I'm doing February and January. The January one, it's okay, but I have those petite ones that I've just done and stuff, and I'm like, I'd rather the petites. So this one's for January. So we've got, I like the March, I like April with the little showers. June is apples, and that's my September theme, so I'm not going to be doing that one. I like May. I got plenty of autumns. I can't read this backwards. Let me look at it. August, okay. I don't like July's. This is July's. I don't like it. It's okay. I like August. I don't like November. I think that's November. Which one is that? No, that's September. Yeah, I don't like that one. I'll do the apples for September. And maybe that November, because the little squirrel's cute. But I don't know. Probably not the October one at all. So that's what I'm saying. I'm kind of mix around and get the ones that I want out of that. Okay, and my holiday ones. And I want to get one done a quarter, so not overwhelming. And I showed you one of these where I completed on my travel. I completed this one. But I want to get, I've already got kitted up this one, and this one are kitted up. And I'm thinking April, March, May, and June, or maybe just June. I'm thinking this one will be March and May, April, and that one for June. And then I like this one with the pumpkin. And then I got to decide if I'm going to do the Christmas one, the snowman one, or the frosty one. I'm not sure. I haven't decided on which one for the holidays. But right now, kitted up are these. I had these 4 and I did that one. So now I've got these 3 are kitted up. So then I'll reevaluate, decide what else I want to do. But those ones are done. As part of my Patreon, I bought this pattern, Freedom, by Teresa Kogut. And reach around here. I don't like the bird, but I love this part. So I'm just going to stitch the bowl and these. I love that. May or may not put Freedom on the bottom. Definitely doing that piece part of it. So that's going to be my 4th. So on the 25th of each month, I plan on doing the Christmas Eve Santa. On the 4th of each month, do this one. I do have some plans. And then just part of that, like cookie. I loved stitching on that cookie with the Cricut Collection cookie. Got it done the end of December, so now this year it'll get finished and it'll come out next year. I don't want it to be like that. So here's Beach, and that needs to be out over the summertime. So I need to get it stitched up so that I can put it out for the summertime and get it finished and get it put out for the summertime. So that's it's kind of a lot, I know. Plus my current WIPs, but my current WIPs aren't that many. Especially listening to other people who are like, oh, I've got 30 WIPs. That's not so many. I'm like, I mean, that's not so many. Oh my God. But yeah, I'm going to end up growing my WIP. I had last year, I was like, I'm not going to go over 10 WIPs. 10 WIPs is max. And right now I'm sitting at, I think 6 or 7. But if you add in these, it gets a lot more. Yeah. So I need to go ahead and figure out my rotation. But my rotations are pretty good. So we will get it going through. Let me see here. But yeah, I also have 2 others. One is my spring ribbon. I want to do that. But I just got that design done. It'll be released next week. So I just got it done. I haven't actually put it into a PDF yet. I finished reviewing it last night, in fact, and put the finishing touches on it and such. So I will get that done. And I also, in March, I'll be doing them, or the middle of February when I get it, I'll be starting up on or actually I'll be getting it sometime in January, won't I? Yeah. Whenever I get the March month to month, I'll start it up and finish it off in February. So that's another one that's going to be in the rotation as a new start because I don't even have the pattern yet. All right, so one of the other things for 2023 is organization. Yeah, we all love and hate the word, don't we? It's hard to stitch or kit things when you can't find it. So Teresa Little Stitcher has organization as part of her 2023 plans, and I was like, yes, absolutely. Mine is not nearly as bad as hers. I feel for her, she's got a lot more organizing to do than I do. But I want to get my threads organized. You know, I started them in that cabinet, and I got through 600. I've only been doing it for about 2 months, so it's not like but it's time consuming, and I would rather stitch during stitch time, not play with threads. So I haven't done that yet, but I need to continue with that. I want to get my DMCs onto those bobbins. I might even need to buy more bobbins. I'm on my last pack of them. I'm like, okay. So I might need to buy more of those. And I have to get the Catitude unkitted. And I've got a lot of full skeins on that. So we'll see where that leads me. And as far as, actually you can't see it, my closet, Never seen his toy. That was the toy he was squeaking on. But crinkling on my closet right there. It is a collaboration of personal, elopement business stuff, finishing stuff, framing stuff, nail polish. My clothes are in there. We live in an older small house, so my husband has the closet in our bedroom, and that's my closet. So it's got all my clothes, all my shoes, plus all that other stuff. The cabinet behind me right there, inside it is where I keep my WIPs, my kitted projects, some extra thread, the supplies, hoops, this, that, the other, yeah, all that stuff is in there. You see it spilling out because that's what's also in that pretty box. Is more of that stuff. I'd like to get that stuff a little bit better organized. I also have my charts in there. Yeah, so I need to get that a little bit more organized. At least they're semi-organized. They just need better placement. My charts are in like one of those canvas baskets. Be the best word for it, I guess. And they're just all thrown in there. They're not categorized. They're not anything. So it's like flip, 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 flip. And my PDF ones are on the computer. So it's flip, 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 flip. And of course, where I'm looking depends on where I'm at. If I'm on the couch saying, oh yeah, I need something 4th of July, I never even looked in there. All I did was flip through the computer for my PDFs. I'd like to print out the cover page of the PDF so I can see the design and put that in there. And then I want to categorize it seasonally or floral or whatever so that I can easily get to my patterns. I've got the books. So you got like, the big book full of patterns. And it's like, I know there's patterns in there I want, but I just see it's like, oh, book. Unless it is a pattern, I don't see it because it's in the book. And I don't want to flip through the entire book. Yeah. So I need to flip through the entire book and then just put on here 4th of July, flowers, page blah, blah, blah. And put like a note on each of the books so I can be all like, so when I look at the book, I was like, oh, wait a minute, 4th of July, no. Oh, wait a minute, what's this? Teddy bear. I was wanting to do a teddy bear. Whatever. And then it's like, oh, it's on this page. And then I can flip it and see it. And see like, oh, yeah, I do want to do that. Or, At any rate, let me get my charts under control so I can see what I have. So that's the organization part of 2023. I'm very big on education and learning and continuing to grow mentally. So this past year, I learned how some of these specialty stitches with the Chatelaine, and I did a full coverage. Those were my growths. They get me out of just cross stitching. Also black work. I learned a lot about the black work and I fell in love with that. But so for this upcoming year, I want to learn more about finishing. I framed everything. I didn't even realize there was other things. I knew you could make pillows out of it, but I don't have a sewing machine. So it was like, frame it. Well, I only have so much wall space. And yeah. So I need to learn more about finishing. I need to practice so I don't ruin things. Just practice it. I've got the new glue gun. I need to practice with that Eline's glue. Find out how long I need to wave it before it comes tacky. Does tacky equal? Do I want to learn how to do pillows? So I want to buy a sewing machine. Where am I going to put that sewing machine? Okay, maybe do I hand sew some small pillows? Or do I just ship them off to the vintage stitcher? So there's a little bit of the finishing that I still need to work through, but I want to learn how to do some of it. Like I said, the cookies, I don't want to flat fold finish myself, but I want to learn how to do the flat fold. I like it. So maybe I just practice with some scrap fabric and just play with it. Even though it's not a stitching, just play with it and then, oh, okay, well, maybe I find a stitching I want to put on that if it turned out good. Otherwise, throw it away. It was Dollar Tree fabric or whatever, so I'm not wasting anything. But on the same token, yeah. So I want to learn more about that. let's see here. I want to learn hardanger. I know I've mentioned it a couple times. Karen Needlebug, she has some videos and teaches us how to do it. I've got books on it. I've been watching Running with Scissors with Jane and Julie, and they are a hoot to watch. I love watching their videos. But seeing the hardanger, I'm like, oh, that is so good. I'm like this with the needle. I'm staring at the Flosstube. I'm not stitching because as soon as they bring out, they call it hardanger heaven. Yeah, it is. It is so beautiful. And I'm like, oh. And it's got purpose. You can actually do it and then have a doily for your table. And I'm like, I need a doily for my table. I need some table runners. I need some placemats. It's a different purpose. And I'm like, yes, I like that. So that's one of my things for the year is to learn hardanger. All right, so haul and stash. Hold on, husband just came in. Okay, so my haul and stash. I'm gonna try very hard, try to stitch what I have. Patterns, fabric, threads. If it's a thread I don't have, well, if it's DMC, I'll just go get it. But if it's something else, then I might see what's similar to it. Do I have to have the whatever? If it's variegated and I need to have it, then yeah, I'm gonna get it. I'm not gonna lie there. Threads, I don't really consider that as a major expense. Although if I probably added up all the money I spend on thread, it probably would become a major expense. We're not gonna do that. But I'm going to try to stitch the fabrics I have and that kind of thing. And patterns. I don't want to buy any new patterns. That's what I'm saying right now. The end of January, we're going on vacation. We're going to the mountains. Yeah, seeing as weddings slow down in the wintertime, as they should, because I don't want to be outside taking, but it gets cold. I don't like it. That's when we go on vacation, because that's when my work slows down. So we're going to be going on vacation at the end of January, and we'll be really close to Annabella's new shop in Waynesville, North Carolina. You know, I gotta go see her. I gotta go see her shop. I gotta go check it out. And I'm probably gonna spend money. I'll probably find a pattern and fabric and threads, and yeah, I'm just prepared to do that. So it is what it is, you know. So I know I'm gonna spend a little bit of money at that point, and I do have an order from my Black Friday order, yeah, over a month ago, from Half Moon Stitchery. That should arrive in the next week or two. I called her up and talked to her earlier this week. She's having shipping issues like everybody. Part of my order was 4 project bags because of her sale. And I was like, seeing as I knew I was doing a bunch of new starts and stuff, I was like, I'm going to need some more project bags. And that's what the holdup is. And she said that they're in like 2 towns over from her is the last shipping thing. So she's expecting to get them like this week and get them shipped out to me next week. So hopefully I'll have them soon. And I bought, because of the Black Friday sale, I did buy a lot of patterns and things. Yeah, so that'll be a nice thing to show you all when I get it. But that doesn't count as I'm stitching for my haul, because that was bought back in Black Friday. That was a month ago I bought that stuff, so that don't count. I do have some monthly subscriptions. Obviously, you know about the month-to-month stitching with the housewives, and I'm going to keep that going, even though it'll end in July, so there's only a few more left of it. So I'll go ahead and keep going with that. I'll probably start customizing them, because like I said, I'm getting tired of the barn. I know it's like the barn series, so every single one has a barn, so I've been switching up with, like, November I did a truck. In September I'm planning on kind of moving around some of the motifs. I don't know, February I don't think I'm not too fond of it, to tell you the truth. I don't know if I'm gonna stitch it. I might stitch up maybe another design that maybe just says, like, you know, I don't know, love or something with some motifs around it or something, or maybe some candy hearts. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'll do something. Like I said, I wasn't planning on doing it the February month to month right now anyway, even if I love the pattern. So I'm thinking that maybe instead of having the month to month every single month, that I might switch it out with something different. Does it have to be a big thing that says February? Couldn't it just have that holiday on it, or just have a pretty spring design that's that size and have it on that barn? So I'm thinking that, but I'm going to keep getting the subscription. I get the threads with it, and I enjoy seeing the different colored threads and that kind of thing. So I'm going to keep it going. I might like all the rest of them. February was the first one that I was like, I don't know why it's roses. Roses are not a February flower to me. Tulips, daffodils, those sort of flowers, not roses. So I think that's the main turn off of that one. I also signed up for a quarterly Stitching with the Housewives. I don't even know what it is. It's some kind of seasonal quarterly Stitching with the Housewives design. I don't even think they had that much information on Quarter Shop about it, but I was like, yeah. So I joined that, and I'm fine with that. We'll see what happens with it. The quarterly Caterpillar cross stitch kit. Last one I showed you was the wolf face one. It's going to be a giveaway. I'll tell you that right now. I no desire to cross stitch a wolf. The one before that was a Be Merry, and then had like Christmas lights around it. Real basic, real, I guess not really childish, basic first time stitchers type of stitching. And not me. I liked the Halloween one, the shoe with the sign. That one. I enjoyed that one, even though it was a basic stitch. That one was like a quick, easy, fun little. I don't want to do a wolf face. I don't want to do Be Merry and have Christmas lights around it. It's not my style. So I'm going to cancel that one. So that one's going to end. So that's one subscription off my list. So since I removed one, while I was sitting there at my son's house, I was like, I want to join a Fabric of the Month club. I just want to see what they're going to send me. That way I'm not deciding what the fabric is. It just comes. I'm sure I'll find something to stitch on it. So I'm like, yeah, we're going to do a Fabric of the Month club and see how that works out. So I joined that with Stitchy Box, and they send me a fiber on the whim. So I signed up for that. So I'll get my first fabric in February, and then we'll see how that goes. So I'm excited about that. That'll be something new and fun. My Crazy Annie's Little House Needleworks Petites. I think there's only 2 left. They said there were going to be 5 of them, and I have 3 or 4 of them. So I think there's only going to be 1 or a couple left. But if it starts getting beyond that, then I'll cancel it, because I've got enough of the smalls. I'll see what they send me for like the spring or whatever, but I don't want it to keep going and going and going. So that one is like, I'll keep it for now and see what happens. I have a quarterly designer series. This from Silver Needle. I couldn't find it on their website, because I was like, well, what's it called, so I can call it the correct thing when I'm on the video. I was like, it's not on their website anymore. So I don't know what's going on with that. But I was charged just a couple days ago for another shipment from them. So I'm getting one. But I don't know exactly what it is. Or I mean, it's always a surprise of what it's going to be. But basically the club was set up. Maybe they just have too many people, so they just like didn't put it on their website. Instead of just putting it on there saying closed, they just took it off. I don't know. But they had, it might be the last one of that. I'm not sure. But my last one was a blue flower design, and it was one of her, it's called Autumn Bee, I believe. And they give you the fabric and the threads, everything, to where you're ready to go with it. The only complaint I have about it is they don't give me it. My other kits, I get a full thing of thread. So I get the full classic color works, or I get the full whatever. They give me the full scheme. And with this, they give you DMC style. You know, here's like 4 threads of this color and 5 threads of that color and whatever. And yeah, it's enough. But I want the full thing. It's not cheap. I think they charge me like $50 or something like that. $55. It's like, and for that, I feel like I should get the full amount of thread so I can use it for another project or whatever, instead of it being these pieces. And then you got to take those pieces and lay them out and be like, okay, is this the light pink or the dark pink or the medium pink? Which one's the right shade of pink? And so that you can put it onto a card, and it just give me my full skein of thread and let me deal with it. I don't like the pieces. That's what I hate about the pre-kitted kits, is because they have just those threads thrown in there, and I hate that. I hate having to sort it. Yeah. So depending on how this next one comes in, and there might even be a note saying, hey, this is your last shipment or whatever. Okay. But once I get that, I'll kind of make up my mind on whether or not I'll contact them and say, cancel this. Because like I said, I think it just really bothers me that I get those pieces, and that's annoying to me. But at any rate, the only other kind of subscription I have is that I just signed up last month, or I guess this month, it was the beginning of December, that I signed up for Teresa Koget's Patreon, and I'm a level 3. I get free patterns and things like that. I enjoy it. I got, like I said, I'm using a 4th of July one. Actually, that one wasn't part of the one. I went out and bought that one, but you get like a percentage off all of her patterns and stuff like that is by being a Patreon too. And I like the patterns and everything, so I'm going to keep that one going for a little while. It's a month-to-month thing, so I can cancel it at any time. So right now I'm going to keep that one going and get the free patterns. But to me, it's like those are part of my monthly subscriptions, so don't be calling me out later saying, Penny, you said you weren't going to buy no more patterns. Well, I've got the Black Friday ones still coming in. I got shop to go to. I got to go to Annabella's, so that might end up with pattern. It's so hard because when you go to those shops, they already have them stitched up and then they look completely different. You're like, oh, I gotta do that. Yeah. So I'll probably get sucked into some kind of rabbit hole while I'm there. Maybe I'll be good. Who knows? But we'll see. And then I've got my monthly subscriptions that are already going. So we'll see what that brings and everything else. So continuing on with my plans. I plan to continue to do a video every 2 weeks about my stitching progress. Maybe one a month on my designs. I'm thinking about adding one of those videos. I won't title it as a Flosstube. I'll just have it in my extra video section. But I'm thinking about doing that. We'll see. It might be one a quarter. I do plan on doing like a specialty video on just my designs. So we'll see. And probably do a giveaway of one of the designs or something at the end of the video. But I'm still working out my plans for that. Of course, next week, well, not next week, whenever I do my next Flosstube video, that will be like my normal stitching progress type of video, I'll start up with the giveaways again. I didn't want to start up new giveaways when I still have giveaways sitting on the bed back there. It's like until those leave out and go, then I'll start up a new one. So I've got some awesome giveaways that are like already sectioned out for y'all. So we'll get to them, I promise. You already know one of them, that caterpillar design, the wolf face. So that brings me to, where am I going with Sage Butterfly Designs? As you have heard me speak, I've got the wedding business, and that takes up a lot of my time. I got Lil Bo, even though he came in to visit when I was small on the screen. I got Lil Bo, life in general, my dad's health, so yeah, I've got to get some things in the works for Mom, so that hopefully she keeps going. She's rock star. There's no health issues with Mom. Thank goodness. Couldn't have both of them going. But we do need to put some things in place. So we need to, his power of attorney, we need to get some of her appointments we need to do. We need to get some things in place. So we need to, his power of attorney, we need to get some of her appointments we need to do. So we need to, his power of attorney, we need to get some of her appointments we need to do. We need to get some of her appointments we need to do. We need to get some of her appointments we need to do. she lives in my house across the state. That's our house. And when we moved to this side of the state, she moved in. She has to pay the full mortgage, but that's fine. That's just part of helping take care of the mom, you know. But the thing is, that house needs some help. It's not in a bad condition. Mom's getting to the age, I mean, she's 73 and she's having a hard time, understandably. 73, I think. I don't know, she might be older than that. But at any rate, she's starting to have some difficulties stepping into the shower and over the bathtub into the shower. So I need to take one of the bathrooms and remove the tub and get a full shower unit put in there so that she can easily get in and out. I have like the little seat on there so that she can sit down if she needs to or whatever. So we need to redo the bathroom for her. And then of course, whenever she's not using the house, so we decide to sell it, hey, bathroom's just been redone. So it'll work out. But I need to do that for her. She is, I call her a hoarder. She's not totally like TV show hoarder. But she went to like she went through a stage about 8 to 10 years ago where she was going to thrift stores and buying. She at one point had 5 sets of just everyday dishes. I'm like, why? Well, they were only $10. They were only $5. I don't care how much they only were. I'm not, when are you using them? What are you doing with them? So she's already gotten rid of 3 of those, thank goodness. But I just need to like help her go through some things. You've already read these books. Let's go take them to a senior center. Let's go take these to this place. She crocheted blankets. She's got so many crocheted blankets all over that house. Let's take them to the senior center. People there can use them and enjoy them. And yeah, so I kind of need to help her go through the house. And I already complained how I can't see a year into the future. I can only do 3 months at a time. She gets very overwhelmed easily. And she's all like, oh, I know I need to get to that cabinet. I don't think there's anything in that cabinet that I even want. Okay, then let's get rid of that shit, Mom. Well, I don't even know where to start with it. So she needs a little bit of help. And that's fine. I don't mind doing that. I'm planning, especially during the winter months, I'm there every month. And I'm there like 3 or 4 days at a time. So again, that kind of gets into the stitching time and stitching plans when I gotta be there. I can still stitch with her and stuff, but it's a matter of I gotta stitch the lower count Ada type of stitching because the lighting isn't that great and I don't want to bring magnifiers and this and that. I just want to be able to stitch so the stitching changes when I'm there. So that's just part of life and that's fine. I don't know where I was going with that. I have no idea why I went out on that tangent at all. I guess I started to talk about where I was going with the business and somehow or another ended up talking about that. I don't know why, but at any rate, the business, let's get back to that because I'm totally confused myself, let alone you guys. Sorry. Goodness. What is going on? At any rate, so Sage Butterfly Designs, where am I going with it? I think I was saying I just have other things on my plate besides the design business. So there, I found out where I was going with that. Thank you for putting up with me. My goodness. Okay, so I don't need the design business to be stressful. I have deadlines. It needs to be, I want to do it for my enjoyment. I like, 9 times out of 10 when I'm working on it is when I'm sitting there on the couch with my husband, I just pick up the laptop and grab the design program and just start fiddling with it. The lighting's not good in the living room, so I don't stitch. So I'm designing and it works. It's great. You know, I don't mind that at all. So that's kind of, I'm enjoying that. I do have one pattern that's with a test stitcher. So once that gets tested out, then I'll be able to release that pattern. I've got another pattern that is 95% complete. The only thing I've got to decide on it is the colors. And for some reason, I'm just having issues deciding the colors. I was thinking about maybe doing it kind of like have 4 colors to kind of represent the spring because it's a large pattern, but it's like a spring, summer, fall, winter, just kind of have like colors to represent that, kind of have like a array of like blues, an array of reds, an array of kind of where my mind is going, but I'm not quite sure with that. So I'm still working on that one. Got another pattern I started. It's like an idea in process, and that's about 50% done. I know that I do not want to be a major designer like Teresa Koget, where she's having to release so many per month or per year and go to markets, or Joan Elliott. And I'm just doing this for my enjoyment. I want to sell a few patterns so I have some money for my cross stitch. It's my cross stitch money. You know, there's not, I don't plan on trying to make a living off of that. I'd like to get my website, the shopping cart done on my website so that I can get the, get off Etsy, well, keep Etsy, but just Etsy fees and stuff like that. I'd rather people go to the website and purchase there, but right now you can't because I don't have it set up, and that just takes time of setting it up. Artie, the vintage stitcher, she had contacted me just this week, and she's asked me to do an exclusive design for her retreat. It's going to be a biscornu, and she's going to have it will be a biscornu, and she's going to have a class to teach how to do the finishing. I will be doing the design. It'll be exclusive to the retreat. But unfortunately, I'm not able to make to the retreat. I do have a wedding on the 4th, on May 4th, but I could probably get coverage for it. But then when I looked up airlines and the tickets are $800 to $1,000, I said, sorry, can't go. I can't justify that. But at least I get to do the exclusive design for the biscornu, so that'll be fun. And the retreat dates are May 4th through the 6th. So if you're interested in going to Upper Michigan, by all means, contact Artie, the vintage stitcher, and get all the details about that. So I think I've been on this video long enough. I've still got to edit it. I'll get that done. My little video has ended up already taking me like 3 hours, and that's with prep work and recording and stuff. So I still need to edit. I don't even know if it's gonna get up before tomorrow or even Sunday, but at least I got it recorded. That's step one, right? Little steps. But all in all, I am excited to see where my stitching journey goes in 2023, and I hope that you all will continue to come along with me on this journey. And please leave a comment of encouragement. What designs you saw that I had that you're excited to see me finish, or any of my WIPs that you're excited to see me finish or seeing progress on, any of the new starts that you can't wait to see, or any questions like that you have. So until next time, have a great new year. Hopefully this thing gets up before the new year, sure that's accurate. Thank you all. Bye.